Camille Vasquez slams Amber Heard as burning bridge person. In the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard defamation trial, Depp's lawyer Camille Vasquez said that Heard was acting in court and that it was the performance of her life. Heard is suing Depp for nuisance for $100 million. Depp has always denied the abuse claims against him, so the trial has been a whirlwind of different testimonies and witness accounts. During the defamation trial between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, Depp's lawyer Camille Vasquez has become a real star. She has a lot of fans now because she grilled Amber Heard so hard in court. In a 6-week defamation trial, Johnny Depp's lawyers gave their final arguments on May 15. Attorney Camille Vasquez spoke for the last time on behalf of Johnny Depp's defense team. She summed up the evidence from the last few weeks and made a harsh attack on defendant Amber Heard. Camille Vasquez, Depp's all-style lawyer, began by calling Amber Heard an abuser. An abuser is in this courtroom, but it's not Johnny Depp, Vasquez said. Someone has been hurt in this court, but it's not Miss Heard. In reality, Miss Heard is the abuser, and Mr. Depp is the abusee. Vasquez said that experts said Heard has borderline personality disorder and that the actress is deeply troubled and desperate for attention and approval. 6 years ago, Amber Heard filed a restraining order against Johnny Depp. Vasquez said that this ruined Depp's life. On May 27, 2016, Miss Heard went to a courthouse in Los Angeles, California to get a no-notice ex parte restraining order against Mr. Depp. She ruined his life by telling the world she has been a victim of domestic violence at Mr. Depp's hands, which was not true. In a high-profile defamation trial between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, the last arguments are being made. Camille Vasquez, Depp's all-star lawyer, began by calling Amber Heard an abuser. As he left the courtroom, Depp waved to his fans, while Heard was more quiet after closing arguments. Vasquez said, "What's at stake is this man's good name. A man's life he lost when he was accused of horrible crimes, and the life he could live when he's finally proven innocent." On this day 6 years ago, Ms. Heard filed a false report of domestic violence against Johnny Depp, who has been her husband for 15 months. She told the paparazzi to be ready, so it was all planned. Vasquez said they knew where she would stop and show off her bruise. She said the pictures show a battered woman, which is what they wanted her to see. 6 days after meeting Mr. Depp, she got a dark mark on her face. She knew it was a lie, as did Mr. Depp, and so did many other people who saw her that week. Everyone saw only what she wanted them to see. The court saw a picture of Heard's bruised face on the cover of People magazine. She said 2 years later, when promoting the biggest role of her career until this trial, Miss Heard presented herself as a public figure representing domestic violence. Vasquez said that Heard's claims are far-fetched and crazy and that you can't choose which ones to believe and which ones to dismiss. You either believe everything or nothing. Either she has been horribly abused or she is a woman who is willing to say anything. It is scary to think that Miss Heard might have made up the horrible stories of abuse she told in court. Vasquez said abuse is a reality for far too many women, but the overwhelming evidence and weight of that evidence shows it's not her story. It's not Miss Heard's story. She said it was a very cruel thing to do, not only to Mr. Depp, but to real victims of domestic violence as well. It was false, it was hurtful, and it could not be fixed. Judge Penny Karate told the jury before the closing arguments that their names would be kept secret for a year because the trial was high profile. At the beginning of the trial, she didn't say anything like that. The court saw a picture of Heard's bruised face on the cover of People magazine. Vasquez said, "What's at stake is this man's good name, a man's life he lost when he was accused of horrible crimes and the life he could live when he's finally proven innocent." Vasquez said, most importantly, you heard from Miss Heard herself, including on multiple audio recordings, where she admits to being physically violent to Depp. The jury heard a recording of Heard saying to Depp, "I didn't punch you, I hit you. Take a minute to think about what you heard there," Vasquez said. Suppose Mr. Depp had said that to Miss Heard from the sound recordings, this is the real Miss Heard. Oh, no audio recording did Mr. Depp ever say that he hit, punched, or kicked Miss Heard, the lawyer said. It didn't happen if you didn't hear it. It didn't happen. Vasquez said that when Heard found out in 2016 that Depp wanted to break up with her, she went on the attack. She sent Depp a list of money demands, and when he didn't meet them, she accused him of abuse, which she said was a blow more damaging than anything physical. Vasquez said she didn't just want a divorce, she wanted to destroy him. Vasquez said that Heard has told lies on top of lies. For example, she has told the media that she gave all of her $7 million divorce settlement to the ACLU and the Children's Hospital in Los Angeles. that was a blatant lie, and she had only given $250,000 to the Children's Hospital and less than $1 million to the ACLU. Vasquez said, "When you catch Miss Heard lying, she tells more lies to cover it up." Next, Vasquez talked about the giant lie at the heart of this case, which was Miss Heard's claim that Johnny Depp was an abusive monster and that she is a public figure representing domestic abuse. Vasquez told the jury about some of the times Heard says she was beaten up. She says Depp headbutted her in December 2015, leaving her with 2 black eyes, a broken nose, and missing chunks of hair. The actress went on the Late Show with James Corden the day after she was allegedly abused and said that her makeup team had to hide her cuts and bruises and put on heavy lipstick, she said. "We told you this would be a performance, the role of a lifetime as a brave survivor of brutal abuse." Miss Heard bet everything. She made up a story of abuse that was shocking, overwhelming, and brutal. She was ready to give the best performance of her life when she walked into the courtroom, and she did. Vasquez told the jury about some of the times Heard says she was beaten up. She says Depp headbutted her in December 2015, leaving her with 2 black eyes, a broken nose, and missing chunks of hair. Vasquez said there was a monster in that house, but it wasn't Mr. Depp. It was Miss Heard after all. He was talking about the time Heard said Depp raped her with a bottle in Australia. She said, "All the evidence shows that Miss Heard attacked and badly hurt Mr. Depp by throwing a bottle at him and cutting off one of his fingers." During her closing argument in court this week in Fairfax, Virginia, Camille Vasquez also said that Amber Heard was a deeply troubled person. The defamation trial of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, which has been shown around the world, is set to end on Tuesday, May 31st. During her closing argument, Vasquez called the Aquaman actress a deeply troubled person. This got her more praise from fans online. Johnny Depp's lawyer, Camille Vasquez, was interviewed on Court TV's Closing Arguments with Vinnie Politan. She talked about the trial between the Pirates of the Caribbean actor and his ex-wife Amber Heard, which was a big story in the first half of the year. In the interview, Vasquez talks about some of the things that happened during the trial. She also talks about how she feels after working on one of the most talked about legal cases in recent years. She was also asked why she used to argue so much with what Amber said on the stand. Vasquez said, "She made it seem like the things she said were things she had come up with at the last minute or were notes she had written down. I even thought that no one on her team really helped her with her statements. You could always see her team sitting in the same place. That made me feel terrible for her since our teams are so different." Camille was very clear about how she saw Amber as a witness. "I never thought of her as someone I could trust or who I would like." She said she had been abused, but Johnny Depp was the only one who was hurt enough to go to the hospital. "It was a very close relationship, but she was the one who started things," she told me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out these other videos.